Another Positive Views production. Feels heavy, the skies turn gray. Hear me, gotta find a way. People walking lonely, lost in their fight. But can you see it? Let's bring some light tonight. Be kind, let love shine. Oh, be kind, leave your blues behind. So divided. I want to thank you for tuning in to Top of the Bay podcast, and I want to let you know that we're hanging out talking about the blues tonight, but not just the blues, Santa Cruz style. With my brothers Leroy and Vinny. We've been through bands, played a lot of shows, and tonight we're going to revisit some of those stories and sounds. So I got a little prompt if you guys are ready for a first prompt.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And anybody can answer here. What's the first blues record that knocked you out?
That knocked me out. I'm gonna say my uncle sent me Texas Flood on cassette. And that was probably Stevie Ray Vaughan. So I got Texas Flood, and that was kind of my gig. So, yeah.
That was a shit.
That was a good. Yeah, it's a good record.
Did he have like Johnny Winter's band with him on that first one? Didn't he have Johnny Winter
the bass player Tommy Shannon was Johnny in the Johnny Winter band. Yeah, but I think Whipper Layton was just part of that. Austin's.
Okay.
I got a weird Stevie Ray Vaughan blues story. It has nothing to do with anything, but I saw this incredible blues show that was Stevie Ray Vaughan, who plays the blues, and the Moody Blues, who have blues in their name and don't play the blues.
No, they weren't really.
And they were billed together.
Yeah, that was a double.
That was somebody.
Long Beach Arena.
Somebody thought that Moody Blues were a blues band, but they're still a good.
They're a good band, yeah.
I like that was my chance to see Stevie the first time.
I like that song they do. I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. I mean, that's a big tune.
Yeah. They had some good ones. I was into the Moody Blues.
And they had a tambourine guy.
Search of the Lost Chord, yeah.
They had a designated tambourine player.
My friend saw Justin Hayward in San Francisco last night.
Oh.
So Justin Hayward's doing a solo thing, but he has a band too. Plays with him.
Well, what was the Moody Blues' first hit song?
Nights and White Satin.
No.
Oh, Go Now.
Go Now.
Oh yeah.
You better go now. Go now.
Yeah.
Go now.
I gotta say, I'm not really up on my Moody Blues.
That was like a British invasion kind of time for that song. Yeah.
Well, I got a blues memory that, I have a couple, but here's one for me. Was when I first heard Albert Collins.
Yeah.
When I heard Albert Collins, he sounded so dynamic and just so real. And then his guitar playing kind of spoke too, and it was really cool. Like, he's one guy who very much relate to in the blues.
Well, this is kind of funny because I'm just a little bit younger than you guys. So in the 80s when I was a kid, the blues was not prevalent on the radio. And most of the time when I found a blues artist, I found them on TV or a movie. And Albert Collins was in Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah.
And he's in a blues club. He's nobody gets out of here without singing blues. After watching that, I knew who Albert Collins was, and I went and bought an Albert Collins record, because I saw it in this movie. And most of where I got into the blues actually came from the Blues Brothers movie.
Oh, yeah.
Going, who's that? It was John Lee Hooker.
So many good blues.
It's all these. Blues Brothers is a love letter to this. But that's where I figured it out was watch. Like they would sneak blues artists in the movie. Also in Adventures Babysitting is Jack Mack and the other band, the Jersey band that was always played with Bruce Springsteen's
Skid Row.
No, it was like East Side Johnny.
Oh yeah, Southside Johnny.
Southside Johnny is in that movie. Yeah,
and the Asbury Jukes.
And Asbury Jukes are in that movie.
Oh, wow.
So it's a trip how all these guys are, if in the 80s that was how you found the blues. Those guys were working in Hollywood, man.
Yeah.
Because they had to. The gigs are still paying $100 just like they do now.
I think one of the first blues guys I heard, and I'd probably listened to John Mayall's Blues Breakers before I listened to a lot of the other blues artists, but that's kind of where I started, and that's where I started getting names of the blues artists.
Yeah.
John Mayall play harmonica?
Yeah, keyboards, harmonica. But I remember on that one album there was a song called Parchman Farm. You know that one?
No.
Going down here on Parchman Farm. They never done no man no harm. There's no harmonica, it's like. But I checked out who wrote that song, and it was this guy named Bucka White. Yeah. And so I went and found a Bucka White record, and it was like it was eye-opening because back then, the recordings were really poor,
like field
especially
recordings.
the field recordings and stuff. And Bucka White was probably in his 70s or something, in the 60s, but it's pretty quiet. What was that? He did Parchman Farm on that one. So much different than John Mayall. It's like you hear the old blues guys do their song, then you hear the modern, more rock blues guys do the same song, and it's it's a little bit different. The musicianship is more, I don't know, polished, or just more
Totally.
People have benefited from that time, when Muddy Waters first brought out the slide and stuff, and in between when everybody else started bringing out their slides, the technology got a lot better, and they had the benefit of listening to that to base their stuff on there. Got inspiration from
different finger picking styles.
Well, yeah, just the difference, the feel, the groove that those guys were.
And the different areas. There were different areas where blues were considered different.
Yeah, me and Vinny have talked about this before. How many different places, the Texas blues, Delta blues.
It changes from county to county in the South. There's like Mississippi Hill blues, but that's like one part of the state.
Highland blues,
lowland blues, and then the Delta blues. Think about like it all kind of would culminate in Memphis, around that area. Like that's where rock and roll was born. It's like that was where the stew.
It really was. You think about all the other music that was coming up from New Orleans and stuff. There was a lot of Spanish and French and Caribbean influences going on, especially African influences going on there, and they just kind of drifted up the Mississippi.
I remember, was it 2018? you and I happened to be in the South together.
Yeah.
Tell them. I want to hear about that.
And
Sounds cool.
I went out to play with the Soul Shakers, and we were doing, and Leroy just happened to actually be on the same trip. We were on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah,
So we,
yeah, randomly. It was random.
it was random, but it wasn't. It really wasn't.
It wasn't. No.
Because we ended up playing a gig, and it was really fun. And but
Where did you play?
we played at Silky O'Sullivan's, and this was Carrie and the Soul Shakers, and we Carrie just booked a flight and asked me if I wanted to go out and play in Memphis, and I said hell yeah.
Okay,
so I did.
Memphis.
And so I flew out there, and I knew that Leroy was going to be there at the same time, so we just kind of said, hey, we're heading to Memphis, and you were going to take off, but you were stuck around a couple of days because. Which was cool because we got to hang out in a different city together, and it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to play with this guy Leo Goff on bass and Brian Aylor on
couldn't remember
drums.
the drums,
Yeah,
yeah.
Brian Aylor. Great rhythms. Like we got a Memphis rhythm section when we got there, and they were so sweet and nice.
How cool.
Yeah.
And they treated us good, and
They did.
and yeah, we had yeah.
What's it like being from Santa Cruz and then going to a place that's like legit, you know?
Well,
How did it feel?
Well, first of all, Santa Cruz is more legit than most places I've played, and I just want to say that because I've played here for 25 years, over 100 shows a year,
Wow.
and I don't know any other place in the world I could do that. So, I mean, maybe those guys in Memphis are doing that. I'm sure they are, you know, but there's not many places. So when you get there and you definitely feel like a fish out of water. But
And Beale Street ain't that long.
Beale Street's not that long. It's like 4 blocks. But there's a bar up and down, and we got there early for the show, and went over to this place called Blues Hall, and this guy Sonny Mac was up there playing, and he's a legend on Beale Street. He plays there every day probably for the past 50 years, and he's up there, and I had a guitar in my hand and a guitar on my back, and I walked up, and I wasn't 2 feet in the door, and he goes, "Hey, anybody with 2 guitars better know how to play." And I was on stage before I could get a beer, so it was really welcoming, and I got to sit when we did our show, and I got to sit in another 2 times when I was there with the.
Wow.
I'll tell you the name of the band in a bit.
Well, no
I have to go through the memory
It
banks.
was really fun though, and it was eye-opening.
Oh, it was great.
especially coming from Santa Cruz or a thing like this to go someplace like that. And it was I don't want to say hardcore, but it was an adult portion.
Yeah. Yes. Memphis ain't no joke.
No.
That town is very serious, and you give it respect because
A lot of
it's
history,
a lot
though.
of history, and Al Green still has a church there and gives sermons on Sunday. I mean, that's all my favorite music came from there. All the soul music, Stax, Elvis. You have to go pay respects to Elvis.
I'm glad you guys did that. That's amazing.
Well, that was the cradle of a lot of the rock and roll part of it too.
Yeah.
In Memphis, and the soul music and stuff was really kind of.
Yeah, and the blues is like it's B.B. King Avenue, B.B. King
Yeah.
Airport.
Yeah. B.B. King
There's B.B.
restaurant.
King's restaurant,
Yeah.
and God bless him, man, because it shines. They play B.B. King in the airport. They play the blues in the airport in Memphis. I don't know any other place that does that. So, man, it's good. People, you want to have a good time?
Well,
Go to Memphis.
I got a license plate. I have a friend who lives in Tennessee, and he sent me this license plate. It happened to have my birthday on it.
Cool.
18 or whatever with the tags. It's like the 8th month and the 18th year, and it's got a guitar on it. It's like like a 335 or something on the license plate.
Wow.
And it's just like I don't know if it said Nashville on it or something, but it was like
Yeah.
the music is
That's how much the
it's a
guitar
big
means to
it's a
them.
big commodity down there.
Yeah.
Music. and
proud of it,
Memphis,
you know.
Nashville, the whole area. You go up into the hills and you get all the bluegrass stuff. And, you know, when you think about it, that's where a lot of all this stuff melded together. You know, I mean, of course the African people, you know, they developed the call and response kind of things,
Right.
field hollers and stuff like that. You know, and then the other influences coming up from New Orleans and the Scottish and Irish influences coming down from the north and the east, you know, all kind of melded together and created that rock and roll. You know.
And it all started on the front porch because it's too hot to sit inside. You gotta sit
I
on
remember the first time I ever really noticed people playing music on TV that kind of struck my interest, you know.
Yeah.
What
I
was
mean,
that?
of course, there was the Lawrence Welks and
Right.
but it was the Andy Griffith show,
Uh-huh.
you know. And when he was in Mayberry, he was the sheriff in Mayberry, you know. And every now and then these moonshiners come down out of the hills.
Oh, the Darlings.
The Darlings. And they would say, they'd play a couple songs, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that stuff's pretty cool. Hey, Andy, hey, Andy, Sheriff Taylor, come on, get your guitar, you know. And he'd get up there and jam with them and stuff. And it struck me, you know. It's just like, wow, that shit's cool, you know, with the fiddle and the mandolin and you know, and so that I couldn't figure out how he was playing the guitar. I mean, I was probably, I don't know, 6, 8 years old. I'm looking at him. It's got you know, the fret markers on the dots on your neck. I think, was he pressing those little buttons there or something, getting that sound?
But
you
you
know?
were hooked.
So I was intrigued.
Yeah. Couldn't wait to get your hands on it.
Well, and the Darlings turned out to be the Dillards.
The Dillards, yeah. It was, you know, and I just found that out like last year.
Yeah, about the
Like,
Darlings.
I
and
thought it was
Dillards.
the Darlings, yeah.
So I want to ask, who were the first blues players you tried to copy, to emulate?
Stevie Ray Vaughan, because that was like I was 12 when I got that tape.
So like, what were you playing? Like Sweet Little Thing, or
I was probably, I think it was Scuttlebutt
Scuttlebutt?
song that because my grandmother, God bless her, got me a subscription to Guitar Magazine and Strings every year for my birthday. So it was just like she kept me going with
Encouraged,
So yeah, that was in tablature in the magazine with Scuttlebutt. So I used to work on that. And Cold Shot was the other one that was always in there. And you know, this was like 80 whatever. I don't remember. I was a kid. So, but that summer before 7th grade, I went. I like came up with like $80, and my dad said, "Well, we'll go get you an electric guitar." And it ended up being like $400, and I got an Ibanez guitar and a little Gorilla amp. So now I was legit and could join a band, and but Stevie Ray Vaughan, it's his fault, all his fault.
I think that's great.
I was always of course, you know, I'm talking about a decade or so ahead of you. You know?
Yeah.
And I started playing when I heard bands like 10 years after we're doing like Good Morning Little Schoolgirl or something like that, or Muddy Waters was I Just Want to Make Love to You and Manish Boy and stuff. You know, that's what got me going. You know, but that kind of was like, wow, I can do this. You know.
I think 10 years after performance at Woodstock, that the Going Home is this my favorite part of the whole Woodstock movie anyway. You know, it's killer. It's perfect.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny because all the bands like that were playing blues, like Canned Heat and bands like that, there'd always be a part of the show where everything would stop and the guitar would go. Yeah. Maybe a little hi-hat in the background, but like his I'm Going Home, you know.
Yeah, that's
he
like,
just when it goes off on the guitar.
It was like 8 minutes.
Never lost the groove, you know, and so a lot of them did that. A lot of the other bands did that, and I always thought that was pretty cool.
You know, and then and going into Elvis in the middle of it was genius, you know, because you know, in the '60s Elvis wasn't. I mean, he did come back in his Yeah, his comeback in the 60s, 68, but, you know, he wasn't huge anymore. You know?
No, but they were kind of remembering
Yeah.
his huge stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
the stuff from the 50s and stuff that when he was. I remember I read a story one time about when the Beatles met Elvis,
Yeah.
and you know they got talking, and John Lennon says this was like in the early 60s, you know, early mid 60s, and he said, well, "How come you stopped playing rock and roll?" That's what Elvis was in.
Yeah,
in
well, it was the movies,
and shit like
yeah.
that.
Wasn't his fault.
Down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't for bad luck, wouldn't have no luck at all. Bad luck and trouble been my only friend. I've been down ever since I was 10, born under a bad sign. Been down since I began to crawl. If it wasn't bad luck, wouldn't have no luck at all. Well, I've been up all night thinking about me and you. I've been up all night thinking about me and you. Well, something just ain't right. I'm feeling blue. I wanna talk to you about your running around. I wanna talk to you before you put me down. I gotta talk to you. Ain't gonna be a fool no more. Well, you stay out at night with your so-called friends, standing my door while I'm singing. Come home at dawn, stinking at gin. Then you go out and do it over again. Stay out at night with your so-called friends.
Well, Rick and I, we kind of spent a lot of time doing the blues with Jeff Cruz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I wanted to bring up in this whole thing was we had a band at one point called Fault Line, Santa Cruz, and we were definitely playing the blues on the blues circuit, whatever
Whatever that was at the time.
Yeah.
So you played the Windjammer, is what you're saying.
No, we played a bunch of places.
Yeah, well, we used to play at the
Moe's.
not the Fog Bank.
Oh, yeah.
When it was the
Bank.
Fog Bank. We
Yeah,
played
yeah.
down there a lot. We played Monterey. We played JJ's.
I don't remember where we were playing, but anyway, Jeff was so good. And he wanted to play what we call contemporary, which I thought was cool because it was very smart. It was rocking. It was still good.
Rock and roll and stuff like that.
You know, I used to watch Jeff with Mary Hospital. 40 years in that bar, so I keep going.
Oh yeah.
That's, I was there.
Didn't you marry the bartender?
Different bar. Yes, my wife. The Windjammer at the time, like for when I was trying to do original rock and roll, which seemed absurd to a lot of people, they embraced me, and because I hung out there and spent a lot of money too. So
Was that when Jeannie was there?
that's when Jeannie was there, and me and Jeannie became friends, and
You
she
probably
would,
saw us play down there.
I
We played
definitely
there a lot in the '90s, didn't we?
That's where I met Rick. Even before I was playing with him, that's
so
where I met him.
I mean, and we were probably all in the same room for years before we knew
Never
each
knew,
other.
yeah,
So
yeah.
because we were watching each other play, you know, and I know that's one thing I love about Santa Cruz too. With the music scene here is, you hear names, and then 10 years later you meet the person. You're like, oh, and then they go, oh, I've heard of you too, and then because you see your name in the grid whenever you play. You know, you used to. Anyway. That might be a thing.
I noticed something about Santa Cruz blues because my friend Bruce took me around to a few places. It seemed all the blues he liked was connected to the harmonica.
Yeah.
So there's like a whole scene like that.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Well, when I first moved here, the first bunch of guys I hooked up with had a blues band. It was like 1985, and they were called Little Ray Monet and the Azure Dukes.
Wow.
Right, and their main front guy was a harmonica player.
I mean, because
So we used to wear like the suits and stuff.
That's wonderful.
It was pretty cool. Nobody else was doing the blues at that time. in Santa Cruz. I'm not big of a blues singer. The other bands like the Batteries and the Calm.
Right.
And all these.
how about this? It's never the right time for the blues, but it's always the right time for the blues. And it's almost like that.
I think you could just say the latter. It's always the right time. So it's because I always had to battle bookers. You know, especially there's some bookers that
He's talking. Sorry.
and now brought to you by blah blah
This is your
blah.
commercial, actually.
Commercial
Your
break.
commercial.
Yeah.
We'll get back to Vinny's discussion on bookers in just a moment. It is gonna go
Thanks
back
for
to
listening.
silent in just a moment.
We're on the road to 200,000 subscribers.
No, that's 200 subscribers. Yeah. Anyways,
Tens of subscribers.
basically there was a thing for a bit about, oh, you play the blues, and they didn't want to put you in front of everybody. It's like, because they didn't think anybody would dance. And I was just like, just give me one shot and we'll see what happens. And as long as I got my foot in the door, I realized people dance. And that the blues isn't all one shuffle. You know, there's all kinds of different blues.
Slow, it's only slow blues.
Yeah, or just slow blues, or
The variety of blues is
it's insane.
Yeah,
It goes. There's like high-end jazzy blues, you know, like the orchestras. Like if you look at B.B. King's band, was an orchestra. Ray Charles could sing blues better than anybody. Orchestra, you know. Or you got John Lee Hooker with a drummer and a bass player and just stomping his foot and beating the crap out of his guitar. That's just as good.
You know, we almost mentioned this, but I'm curious if there's a place in Santa Cruz that you always thought was the blues. Like this place speaks of the blues. So what place here? You said, I thought you said,
When I first came here, Henflings was the spot. It really was. The Firebirds.
Yeah.
Sundays with the Firebirds. They were so good and such gracious people.
and they liked us playing there a lot, the hired guys.
And even before that, they had Eddie Big Hand Kessler.
Right.
was the band up there, and he had that place was every Sunday thing, you know.
And the Fog Bank Blues Jam was top notch. It was really. I mean, it'll never be like that again because those players, a lot of those guys just aren't around anymore. But it was one of those things that was. Dennis, he's carried that torch. Dennis Banks carried that torch for, this Sunday. He's still doing it, And the blues jam, I think, is so wherever the good jams were. The Pocket had a great blues jam.
Oh, the Pocket had
You
a
all
good
missed the
jam.
Pocket. Yeah. Jerry runs. That was the funnest era of really fun part of my career.
That was a good scene. That was a really good scene. And
You were playing there pretty regularly, the Pocket, and you too?
In the TV show we did it with
you guys were
the
playing
Teddy
together.
and Vinny show we did together there, and lots of different events. We just kind of throw things together.
Which bands have you been in, Vinny, that were kind of blues based?
Carrying the Soul Shakers was definitely blues based. The band, the Vinny Johnson Blues Band is the what we're doing now, and full spectrum. It has Les Rosenthal on harmonica and Spencer Ellison, who's a singing drummer that's a force of nature. And Leroy on bass and singing bass player, another force of nature. And then Jan Hagee comes in with a B3 and plays B3 with us. I think when that particular group of people gets together, we have a sound that it emulates blues and soul, and soul music.
When we had the Luna sing with us,
and when we have Luna
special
sing
too.
with us, it's even bigger.
Even
Luna's
more.
these three beautiful harmonized voices. So
Is this like your ideal band right now?
it is absolutely my ideal band. Yeah.
And what
It's really, I'm gonna tell you, keeping a band.
where can we see you? Where are you going to be playing?
This
Is going to be out in
somewhere.
the future somewhere.
well,
Where do you play regularly?
Leroy and I play every Thursday at Mission Street Barbecue, and I would say come see us there,
Yeah.
get a taste, and then
What time does that happen?
that happens 6 to 8 every Thursday.
6 to
Mission
8
Street,
every Thursday.
West Side.
I can't make that. I'm busy.
Next week.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday. We've had some. It's become a thing. There's a guy, Scott Milrod, comes on. We call him Second Set Scott. He shows up and plays harmonica at the second set, and it's been a really good thing. And we're holding the place for Toby. It's Toby's gig, and when he's ready to come back and play it, he can have it back.
Right.
We're just placeholders.
Wish
me and
Toby
Leroy.
well.
If he comes back.
I hope he comes back.
But it's been fine. It's been actually better.
I thought I'd be over. It's been over a little over a year, and I thought we'd be over it, and I look forward to it every Thursday.
Yeah. Well,
It's just a great vibe, a great environment, and the food's killer, and
yeah.
and it's you're home by 8:15.
This is like the deal. All our friends, it's an earlier time now, the 6 to 8 type of slot instead of the
So it seemed like
midnight or 1.
after COVID, that kind of all of
Yeah.
a sudden it back way down. I started getting I think maybe because there's more outside things, more beer gardens and wine places, but it's the 1 to 4, 47, 6 to 9.
Well, I got to tell you that the blues crowd too is an older crowd.
yeah.
They're not young, and I know there's young people into the blues. I do see young people at shows. I had the opportunity to see Chris Kane at Kawumba the other night.
They're a smart musical crowd, right?
Yeah, it's a
Like
very
they know
smart.
a lot about
well,
music.
yeah, but also they're older.
Yeah.
So you've got to think about how to get younger people. And I'm sure they are. I just don't know them, but I think it's important as musicians, everybody, and you as being a music teacher, Greg, Mr. Brown.
Well, it's touch and go too. I know that some of the places that you and I have played at, like the Sandbar.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a younger crowd in there, and they're loving it. They're
they're
dancing,
digging
they're
it,
carrying
yeah.
on. And of course, alcohol might have a little bit to do with it, but
It does. It does.
Now that's a thing, though, don't you think? Where the blues are, it's usually a bar, and alcohol is prevalent.
oh
in the
yeah,
blues
that's
for
the
sure.
whole-
Because
It's
the more you drink, the more you got the blues.
Well, you know,
Maybe.
it
Sometimes.
No friends and places you just can't believe. No friends and places you have never seen. No friends and places well below my knees. No friends and places seldom are they seen. I've got some friends who go pretty low. They're creepy, crawly ways. Stay up all night, hide in the day. Skin's ghostly gray. Humility, brutality, humanity, insanity, low friends and places you don't want to be. Low friends and places
Wicked Wanda
that wouldn't you agree? So she had an outdoor place in kind of a farm, and because she had a goat. And a lot of fun girlfriend people, you know, plenty of guys, and you could camp there or stay in the house, and we would just go play. And Rick and I know a bunch of us partook in all kinds of substances, and I mean it was epic. And then the people, what they were wearing was very alluring. So I remember being in the band and looking at that stuff. I think it was a Halloween party.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh my God, this is beautiful.
This woman Wanda, we used to call her Wicked Wanda. We met her at the Windjammer.
Oh yeah, Wanda.
Yeah.
yeah, all stories begin
Kinda
and end
fond of
at
Wanda.
the
Yeah,
Winch.
yeah.
Did she go out with Ned? Was she a Ned girlfriend?
I
or
don't
just a
think
friend?
she was. She was just this very sultry woman, and she's like, it was like, I don't know, like a Marilyn Monroe kind of voice, you know. And she was very alluring dressed, and she'd come up and rub up against you and stuff.
Oh yeah.
She wanted to play with her.
Yeah, there was stuff going on. Definitely while we were playing. Like the more we're playing, the more stuff going on.
Those were the days of
Oh,
and
I
like,
remember another.
that's what's missing from is the fact that like there was a freedom and a looseness to it that, you know, now everything's on. You know, it's just it's awful.
I mean, I have some friends that came.
Yeah,
I just told him I might
Not so much about Santa Cruz, but just way back when. But you're right. Everything was different. You know? I mean, when I was coming up there, it was different. Hippie movement and stuff, you know. And girls were taking off their bras and stuff, and it's like, woohoo, you know. I'm 16 years old, and what the, you know what I mean?
Did that influence you to want to be in a band?
I was already in a band, I think, at that time, you know. I mean, there certainly was a part of it when we saw the girls screaming for the Beatles and the Stones and stuff, and Elvis, you know, and that was a draw for pubescent.
For sure.
yeah. I definitely
There will be women.
I definitely knew that girls went to rock shows. I should be up there. And I did. Yeah, it works.
I know.
that's what it was. It was like, you know,
It feels better.
I didn't have any desire to play sports.
Yeah,
I wasn't really into sports. I was like, you know, we were going to get no glory out of that. You know? And at that time, you were either like a greaser or a preppy kind of guy, you know. And there wasn't any in between. And all of a sudden, there was an in between, you know. So where a lot of people fit in.
yeah. And the music takes over at one point. Where
Yeah,
you
the
just
music.
you go, well, this is so. It's like I just got paid for doing this, and then tomorrow I still got to go dig a ditch, but I just got paid.
Well, when you
for
click
doing
with
it.
a bunch of people,
Yeah.
and you had a good time, and people, where are you playing again? Where are you
people are
playing?
cheering
People
you
liked
on.
it. I mean, it's like, you know, first time you have to get up and sing in front of people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, most people are scared shitless of talking in front of people. You know, just think about now. You got to get up there and sing in front of people. You know, as soon as you got that positive feedback from that, you know, it was like, oh, okay, and that kind of encourages you a little bit.
It's our
you know?
superpower.
I'll tell
Nobody's
you.
telling you to stop.
Tell you
Right.
one thing that did happen to me early on. I used to play at a place in Campbell called the King's Head. You asked a question earlier about something from the stage, and I was working out my thing at the King's Head, and the guy Sam really liked me. He must have really liked me because I was not good. I was terrible. Because I'd always just been a guitar player, and here I am trying to sing and trying to play my songs that I wrote that I think everybody should like just as good as I do, which is, you know, you
Not
have
gonna happen.
You almost have to be that kind of delusional to get through that part so you can get good, right? So I'm on stage playing my heartfelt song that I wrote, and there's two people in the bar, and one of them is this British guy at the bar, and he just slams down his glass, walks right up to me, and he goes, "Get the fuck off the stage, you fucking suck!" And I finished my song, and then I put my guitar down, and I was like, and I was like, fuck this guy. And I put my guitar back on, and I played one more song, and I went home.
Cool.
I was like, I'm not going to stop just because this guy told me to.
Way to go.
But it was like this guy had no problem telling me what he thought of me, and I thought that was cool. Man.
Well, that's all part. It's all part of it, you know. It's all part of it. I mean, we've all played places where they loved us, and we played places where
I might have pissed my pants a little.
Yeah.
When he jumped in my face, it was like, wow, what are you doing, man?
Every band brings joy. Some when they arrive and some when they leave.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta be able to get on stage and suck for a while and work it out, and then you'll get it. And I used to go to these blues jams at JJ's in San Jose, in Santa Clara, right on Stevens Creek, JJ's. And, go Monday nights and jam with Terry Hyatt. Terry Hyatt's formidable guitar player, wonderful guy. And he'd see me coming and be like, here's young Vince. He wants to play CCR, I know it. And I'd just be like, yeah, because all I knew really was CCR. So. Exactly. I still play CCR. Yeah. He schooled me. I used to call my weekly dose of humility. And I love that too. Getting schooled by the real guitar player.
There's the whole thing is sticking with it too. I mean, you know, you got the feeling for it, and you know you got something, you can feel it, you know, and you just gotta keep going for it. I mean, how many times you go to a place and see a band play, and you see a bass player, it's holy shit. You know, what the fuck am I even pretending to do? Like, you know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like, and that's all fine and good, but it's how it makes you feel. It's how what you're putting into it. It's just like, just because somebody can do so much doesn't mean that what you do isn't meaningful, you know, and you can,
Like you could be intimidated,
oh, you know,
but right.
Whoever share my room with me, just let them know I snore, you know, or whatever.
well, the first road trip I ever took, I think I was probably like just out of high school, maybe 18 years old. And it was like, okay, we're going on the windows. I don't know where the fuck I am, you know? I mean, it was like, get to a place, you know, how did we get here? You know, I had idea what roads we took or anything, you know. And it was pretty good. It was pretty cool at the time, but it was kind of scary too for a young kid, you know.
Very cool.
Scary road trips. Great.
Yeah.
Cheers to scary road trips.
Have you been on a scary road trip lately?
No. Well, and I took a lot of other road trips, and learned that it's not all it's cracked up to be, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it was best is just to go out and do something, do a cool show and come home.
Absolutely.
You know, like touring, I don't know how, I mean, I've never been on a big budget tour, so anything that's more than 3 dates out is always very uncomfortable. It's always been sharing space, a lot of close space for 3-4 days.
I've had this idea that if you're Santa Cruz, making it means you get to stay here. It means you don't have to go on tour.
I agree. You know,
Are you
but
okay on that?
I mean, playing it.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm hearing it on my headphones too much. I'm good.
Oh, you're on board.
So, you can hear me?
No, I'll plug you back in, bro.
Oh, I'm unplugged? Oh. That would do it. Is this the one that I had before?
It is now.
No, here it is.
Does that work?
Yeah, this'll work.
All right.
Greg, do the kids in your class call you bruh?
Sometimes.
Do they?
Sometimes it's funny and sometimes it is.
Sometimes it's
not
annoying,
funny.
isn't it? Yeah.
Bro.
Well, we used to call each other dude.
That's true.
Dude. Still call it.
I certainly was guilty myself. Feels a little unbalanced. Jefferson Brown.
I remember one night I was with this band and we went down to this club to hang out. In New York, they close your all at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know. And so, in this club, and next thing I know, everybody, guys there with me were gone. And I was like at this club in this little one-horse town, about 30 miles from where I lived.
What kind of shitty friends are you hanging around?
I know. That's like,
They left you at a club
like,
at
fuck
4
these
o'clock in the
guys.
morning? Yeah,
Well, it was like,
exactly.
fuck these guys, you know. And but shit, I had that fucking hitchhike home. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and
And you made it. You didn't get.
I made it, you know,
You didn't
but-
get hatcheted by some psycho clown or nothing. Okay, good.
I don't know how much hitchhiking you guys have done in your time, but I did a ton. But yeah.
No, man. Like
Very little.
I never hitchhiked, but like I rode the bus for a long time, and I think that's about just as dangerous.
We didn't have no buses.
Yeah.
Was it really that rural where you were? No buses or nothing?
We didn't have any municipal buses. I mean, there was Greyhound or something, if you want to go someplace, but it's not going to take you to the
No city bus.
other side of town or something, So it was a hitchhike or walk. But hitchhiking was cool because since it was a small area, you knew a lot of people knew you or knew your family, and they'd pick you up, or back in those days when the hippies were first kind of happening, if you had long hair, you were kind of kindred spirits with another one, and they'd pick you up, and
That's so cool.
yeah, smoke a couple joints and get to where you're going, But then it would be something. I got picked up by a couple of weirdos,
I've done a lot of traveling. Spent some time in Austin, Texas, and I drove out there and back. To basically just jump in and just there. So I was out there for a couple of months, just kind of kicking around, seeing what I could do. A trip there and a trip back.
Yeah.
Especially, like, people try to get in your car. Hey, man, I just need a lift to here. And they just go, try to get it. Nothing's wrong. They just take off. And I met some real characters, some real people with some real problems.
Yeah, well, that's another big eye opener, especially like playing music, because you're in bars, you're people that are drunk or drinking or using a lot of drugs and stuff, and you come across some real characters. You know, it's like some of them are harmless, and some of them are harmful. You know.
Would you say, like, in Santa Cruz, you feel a little safer? Because we're talking about on the road.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
versus Santa Cruz.
Just because it's home.
You know the characters.
There are a lot of characters you can kind of love it almost. You know, like you see somebody walking in, you go, there's that lady who likes to dance with, what's the name, Sally, she's nasty as soon as she walks in. There's just this, you know, they've been around long enough to become beloved, right?
Yeah, everybody knows. Oh yeah, we know that. You know.
We kind of come up with nicknames for them. So certain people have nicknames. Like, this guy's. Okay, I'll give you one. There's this cat. I was playing a show with him. He was talking about his birthday. He's going down. Taking his girlfriend down. Piper. Vinny Johnson. Yeah, man, I'm going down there. I promise you one day. So he starts, you know, maybe he's gonna have relations with his girlfriend in this cabin. Yeah. You know. And so every time we walk through the show, he stabbing cabins.
You get the nicknames, yeah.
Because it's like all the nicknames of you, like people come in and you're like, oh yeah.
So there was a guy down there we used to call Froggy.
Froggy.
You know, right? You probably know. Sound like that. Sound like this. Froggy.
You really want to talk to you. He's telling you stuff, but you really couldn't understand the damn thing Froggy was saying.
You want to sing a song and stuff.
Who are you?
Oh, they're so beloved characters. Dude, there's so many
True.
of them, and they're you know, like that's what makes Santa Cruz. You know, this keep Santa Cruz weird thing. I really believe that, man. Let's do that. You know.
Well, I always think that this is a place where musicians want to come and play.
Yeah.
You know, this is Santa Cruz is kind of like a
Well,
Haven.
and you know, like,
Mecca,
and you get the history of it too with the Doobie Brothers, you know, and like you get like that vibe. It's in the music. Like, and the Dead scene is always huge here. It always has been. You know, Grateful Dead. We all know that.
For sure.
You know,
they got the archives at the university.
Does
Yeah,
the Grateful
it's-
Dead touch on the blues?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. They're the California spin, man. I think so.
The first time I heard "It Hurts Me Too," I think it was the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. Well, you know that I don't know much about them. I did watch that documentary, the other one. It was pretty good. They talked about Jerry Garcia was like even before the Grateful Dead was already a thing. He was like everybody knew him. So
Right.
he was teaching bluegrass and banjo and stuff up in Palo Alto. So he was like this guy that was already doing something.
Worked at the music store.
Worked
Right?
at the music store, yeah. And you can almost like, I mean, I wasn't, because it's all before me, but I was like kind of looking at it and go, I could picture that, because I would go hang out in music stores and I'd meet other musicians.
Yeah.
That's how we used to network,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You'd go. It's like when I go to a new town, I go straight to the guitar store.
Yeah.
I still
I
do
still
that.
do that,
My wife
yeah.
hates it. She's like, what do you want to do today? I was kind of hoping to check out this guitar shop for a bit. I'll be back in an hour, you know. And I just go check it out. Maybe there's something there, maybe something not, you know. But I just want to go meet the guys.
Yeah.
And,
You end up talking with the guy for half an hour or something.
and I used to do that offshore music with Rick over
Yeah.
there offshore.
Yeah.
I miss going in and talking to him. At
Me
that
too.
store, you know.
Rick
But,
was
you know,
really cool.
He retired, so
Yeah.
you gotta let people retire.
What was his band? Gator or Alligator? Or
Um,
Gator He wasn't Gator Alley.
No, it was, we had the movie.
Alligator Blues or something.
Alligator
maybe.
Blues or
There
something.
might have been that.
Leachman, Rick Leachman.
Yeah, cool dude, man.
He was. I liked Rick.
Yeah, it was a great story. It was, I'll tell you a story about Rick too. Like I used to go in and talk to him all the time, and I was kind of in desperate mode one time, and I had a gig, and I broke a string on my guitar, and I had no money for strings, and he funded me like a pack of strings. He just gave it. He's like, go, okay, pay me later. And that was cool as hell. It's like I was in a bad spot.
That's part of the blues.
That's part of the blues. So
That's what keeps it motivated.
but I was like, man, I just don't. I haven't got a check yet. He's like, no way. He's like,
Monday morning, got to face another day.
good dude.
Working like a dog,
Take this back.
cause these bills they have to be paid.
University town.
Prices going sky high.
On the way to New Paltz, on the back way, there was this gas station, mini mart kind of thing, and they had guitar strings. They're like, Ernie Ball guitar strings or whatever they were, Fender at the time, picks, they had picks, guitar strings, and chords and stuff.
Just for guys passing through.
That's where you go.
Yeah, they always stop there and have a couple packs of strings or something.
I've loved all the music stores.
I've been working so hard trying
Left, I
to
go to
survive.
Johnson and my
Doesn't matter, nobody gets out of here alive. Some things have to change.
You might cable
The
and
wolf's been after north so long, I thought he was my friend. When he's got nothing, you got nothing to lose.
What are the places you can buy stuff? Where's the different places we should look for?
There's Starving. What's the one on Sylvan? Yeah, Sylvan. Guess they got hit by a bus.
Yeah,
So we got to buy
front window.
Or a car.
Front window.
There's a chance.
Sylvan's more of a high-end acoustic guitar. I mean, they got some electrics in there too. Not like that. They're high-end.
They do have like little
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I got those. They've been around forever.
Lights ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have those.
That's because they're kind of perishable.
Yeah, there used to be a lot more music stores. I used to work at then you buy something, you'd be like, well, I that picks, you know, buy something.
We're wrapping this up. After this groovy jam. All right.
Hey, Greg, you did the music for this. That's you.
That's me.
That's
It's all of us. We are actually going to be interspersed throughout this. There's some parts that we listen to that are going to get interspersed amongst us talking the little bits there. But anyway, we are wrapping it up here. We're talking about the blues. We're talking about Santa Cruz. And we're going to go around and
all
say
kinds of stuff.
and all kinds of stuff. Okay, so it's all part of the blues too. We're thinking, what's one thing the blues has taught you about life?
One thing the blues has taught me about life is to just keep going, man. Don't like, don't let what was it? What's the line? Don't let the bastards get you down.
Yeah.
That's country, but
Don't
still,
let
that's
the boss
blues.
man get you down.
Don't let the boss man get you down. It doesn't matter because nobody loves me but my mother, but she might be jiving me too.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite lines of the blues. Nobody loves me but my mother, and she might be jiving
She might
too.
be jiving me too. B.B. King.
I agree.
Yep.
What did you learn about from the blues? What's
The blues. The blues don't come; they just go.
That's right.
It's like I don't know. It's like the blues is the blues, and it doesn't necessarily mean sad blues.
Yeah.
The blues is happy too. There's certainly a lot of good happy songs in the blues.
I think it's kind of like putting a good spin on it. It's always putting like a good polish, a good spin on something
it's the blues has taught me
that's
that
life.
that life ain't always peachy. Life ain't
For sure.
always like going your way. Life
And you're
isn't-
not alone in it.
and you're not
You're
alone.
not alone, man.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because this happened to me. I woke up this morning. I looked
Yeah.
around for my shoes.
Yeah.
I got those mean old walking blues, man. Like, everybody has it. You wake up, you're like, God, I don't want to go to work today, man.
Yeah.
But I gotta go.
Yeah.
That's the blues,
So I say the blues don't come; they just go.
The blues don't come, they just go. Yeah.
So who keeps you coming
The
back?
blues
to the
don't sink; they can swim.
Vinny, how come you keep coming back to the blues? You play all kinds of music.
Right. Because it's the basis of how I approach music is all it all comes from the blues. So my understanding of what music is that basic 1-4-5 kind of thing, or a 1-6-2-5 or a 1-2-5. It's like all those changes I learned from blues songs. So, and then I found they're in contemporary music too. So if I'm playing reggae, all I've done is changed what my right hand is doing.
Like your
But I'm
rhythm.
playing the same damn chords, but the rhythm changes or the stop changes. But it's everything I can relate, and even any rock song, any hip hop song, I can even get a blues lick in there.
Yeah. Well, I always feel like when you're doing the blues, I don't know, when I'm playing the blues anyway, it just always, it transcends, actually playing the blues transcends everything for me. It's just like you get that groove, that shuffle groove, or whatever you're doing, it's just like, it's just like, yeah. That's it.
And when the band's
More
all
than a lot of other music too, because a lot of other music, you're playing, there's different parts, and you're doing this, and you're doing,
You don't get to enjoy
But the
it.
blues is just like,
we all give each other room in it too, because when the band's all working together, it's almost kind of like time slows down a little bit, and so we go, okay, keys, and you give people their moments, and there's a lot of dynamics, and I think the thing you can definitely learn from the blues is like, how to listen and how to be patient, because as a player, there's a lot going on around you, and especially some of these jams, you really have to be open to what another person is going to express, because none of this is written on paper. It's all created in real time, and I think that's the art of it. And especially at the jam, it's like you have no idea what's going to happen until it happens, and then you go, "Man, that was great," or "We made it." That's the best part, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Vinny, when I look back on this conversation, it really feels like we've been telling the story of Vinny Johnson.
No.
Santa Cruz's own.
No.
So thanks for letting us shine a little light on your journey, brother.
Thank you, man. Yeah. And thank you for having me on your show. And a great show.
You're friends and you're a guest, and you're one of the best musicians in this town for so many years. Thanks for giving insight into the blues and into what you do.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for having us, Greg. on. Da-da-da-da.
Now let me turn on record and let's do it for real.
I knew it.
Oh, be kind, leave your blues behind. When the blues come knocking and the shadows creep, we can lift each other up, we can stand tall. With every little gesture, let compassion shine. Can you feel it? Together we can climb. So let's walk this road, hand in hand. You feel it, a brighter world will stand. With kindness leading, the journey we'll find. Oh, together now, be kind, oh, be kind, let love shine.